Yo, and good morning. Right, okay, today is going to be the video. I'll do it short and sweet right at the beginning. I've stripped all my copper down with thanks to my cable stripper. So Adam and I had a good sort out the other day. Adam's not with me today. He's online courses at college because of COVID, hence why I'm in here. So we stripped these each bundles down into 500 grams in and around. So 503 with the band. So give or take that. So what I have done is spend a lot of money recently on stuff like this. So what I'm trying to do with the unit is all the money I'm getting in off YouTube, I'm reinvesting it back into YouTube, buying stuff, buying products and whatnot to do videos on for you guys and for my own self-pleasure, obviously. So I bought myself a 5 kilowatt smelting furnace. So it's a propane one. There's the propane. I had a practice go yesterday just to get the feel for it, see how it works, and absolutely loved it. It's so enjoyable. It's quite easy to a point as long as you follow the safety procedures. Like you say, you've got your goggles, you've got your heat-proof gloves, you've got your tongs, you've got your mask, you've got your ear defenders, plenty of ventilation. I'm going to be doing it in here because the heat dissipation, I mean, yesterday I put my hand above it, no more than 1.5 meters away, and there's barely any heat. With the height of my ceilings, it's no problem at all, but I will be opening the door for ventilation and the back door, so we've got to draft through. Because obviously once this melts, there is some fumes that come off it, especially with copper, that go into the air. We want them out. We don't breathe that in, health and safety reasons. Hence, bucket of water, fire extinguisher. I've got a heatproof blanket over there as well. I won't waffle too much. I'm going to get straight into it because I'm just dead excited to show you guys. What we're going to try and do is make a few bars today. I bought a polishing machine, some sanding discs. So we've got all different grit sanding discs. We've got a polisher. We've got our grinder with our sanding disc in to do originally, that's 80 grit. And then we go from 60 all the way through to 5,000. That'll give it a nice polish. Got some wax, stick it on the polisher, make it shiny. That's the plan for today's video. And I hope it works well for you guys. I hope I can get the right camera angles. I set. I've got my 2 GoPros, I've got my DSLR all set up, ready to get as best footage for you as possible. And then, once this video is done, I'm going to do a video on my other channel, Sparks Fly, because this isn't quite electrical related. It is to a point, it's old copper cable. This is what I like so much about it, is all this that I pulled from people's houses for the past 6 months has then turned into this, hopefully turn into a nice copper ingot. You know, 500 gram or a kilo, depending on what I go for. So I've got my graphite casting mold. I've got that all set up. So yeah, let's get to it. But firstly, I'd like to thank today's sponsor of the video, which is Traderify. So Traderify, some of you guys might know, some of you may not. It's a job management software that you can get on all your devices that help you manage quotations, invoices, scheduling works, along with so many other things that you can do physically on your phone to save you time at work, so you've got more time at home. It's used by literally thousands and thousands of people across the world. So I'll put a link below, go check them out, and trust me, it's worth your while. Right, let's get started. So first of all, health and safety is an absolute must with this, and I know that. I'm no expert, so do not copy anything I'm doing. I've watched a few of the guys' videos, I've read a lot of information how to do this, so this is what we're going to do. We've got back door open, front door open, we've got our crucible in there. So we're going to get our 500 gram bit of copper and place that in there. And to be fair, I did find out, I tried to cut these to length the other day, but what I have found is I cut them a little bit too long. So what I'll do, I'll put the lid on first and then we'll poke them in. We will ignite our blowtorch. There's a few other ways I've seen people do this. They put a bit of cardboard or all that sort of stuff inside of it on fire while to light the propane. But I found this is quite the easiest option. Right, so we've got that lit. Going from there, this is a slider for propane, so that it lets the air in and out, obviously to increase the flame or to decrease the flame. You want to leave that closed to start with. We will turn the gas on, only a tiny bit. You only need a little bit of pressure for setting fire to copper. Put that across, there we go. Let's turn the propane off. Right, so from here, what we're going to do, that's now set. we will open the slider to let more air in to increase the temperature. Copper actually melts at 1085 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, I only learned Celsius, so see what happens. I'm just going to use the tongs for this bit. Right, I'm just going to open it up now, use the tongs for this bit. There we go. Right, so give or take, this will take around 12 to 15 minutes to get to temperature and start melting it. I'll pop back and forth as and when it's melting, but I'll stick the camera over the top there. For me, saying about the heating here, obviously that's fine. You can barely feel the heat here. There's absolutely no chance you're going to get any heat on the ceiling. I was concerned yesterday that it was going to be 5 all up and it would melt the ceiling. A lot of people do this outside, but then a lot of people I've seen have done it inside, so I'm happy with that. So there's plenty of draft coming through. I'm actually quite cold at the moment. We'll leave that set be, but my plan is for my Sparks Fly video, I'm going to make my own moulds. My brother, shout out Ollie, had made me these moulds to make for you guys. So that's my logo. We were going to go for my writing on a 3D printer, but it's so small it would be very difficult to actually get that moulded in sand. We'll give it a go. So that one's a flush one, and then that one's a raised one. So we can give it a go. Be on my other channel, I'll put a link below. It might come out at the same time, a day later, I'm not quite sure yet. But shout out to my brother, thank you very much for that. And it's just the time now, so we're going to wait for that to warm up a bit. I'll check back in a minute. Checking in at 5 minutes. I'm going to get my GoPro too close. You can see the heat, it's nice and hot in there now. I've ordered a thermometer gun and a laser gun that you point at it, but it hasn't turned up yet. But you can see it's nice and rosy. Getting a bit warmer in here. So what you do with the graphite moulds is when we are just about to pour it, we will heat that up to get rid of the moisture. Otherwise, it will, when you pour the metal into it, it bubbles and leaves holes in the metal itself. Also, I've moved anything combustible at least 2 meters away, but even from here, I'm a meter away, you can't actually feel the heat because they're designed to contain the heat so well. The only heat you get is from the top, and that's barely noticeable as is. So yeah, it's great fun. I love doing stuff like this. Also, if you haven't already, do like the video, because I am trying to put as much money and effort into these videos as possible, and it helps me out. And also, speaking to Adam, he was like, well, you should do a thing what the YouTubers do and say, if this video gets to 3,000 likes, I'll get a YouTube symbol tattooed on me. Yeah, 3,000 likes, try and get to 3,000 likes and give it a share, because I'm enjoying this so much and I want to carry on. And it's helping me. I've taken a day off work each week now to try and come in here, film stuff. I've got loads of exciting things coming up. Quite a few giveaways as well, actually. Obviously the Ideal bag which up there is live at the moment. I've also got a smaller power bank, a much more affordable power bank. I'll show you. These ones. So you've obviously all seen my other big power bank. It's the massive one. It's 1800 watt output. This is only 300 watt, but this weighs next to nothing compared to the other one. It's got 240 output on it as well, USB-C, USB-A, all that sort of stuff, and it's got a wireless phone charger on the top, which is cool. Next couple of videos I'll be going through it and showing you properly, and then what the company did, they sent me one and said, you know, there's a fee when we advertise stuff, that's the way YouTube works for me now. But I said I don't want any money, just send me another one so I can give away to you guys, because I think that's more beneficial for everyone. You guys get the chance to win one of these. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. It's just got a tiny little bit left on the top, and then we can do the pour. Right, so that's nearly at temperature now. What we're going to do is just warm up and get the moisture out of the mould itself. And allow all the moisture to escape, so when we pour it, we don't bubble it, the fingers are crossed, there's always a little bit, but we sand that out afterwards. Right, so I've turned the gas off, now the mould's out. red hot itself. I have got some fire bricks, but putting it on the concrete should be fine for today. Right, let's get the lid off. You can see how hot that is. So that's our molten metal. Bubbling away, see how hot that is. So that's got to 1085 degrees to burn that, to melt that. Set a few different camera angles so you can see the pour. So what we have to do, pull that out. Oh, for some reason the fire brick's caught to it. Push our tongs over. We've got a bucket of water ready to quench, and then we'll do the pour. And you can see from it, it's solidifying straight away. Right, and now, as is, we can flip that over and get that out. There we have it. Now we can quench the copper, and you'll see from quenching it, from this dark colour it is, it will turn quite orange straight away. Right, so I'll leave that to cool for a little bit and then we'll get to sanding. So that's been quenched and already it's cold. How cool is that? I know, I'm dead excited. So this should weigh now roughly, I would have thought 480 grams, something like that. 498. That's good. It's barely lost any, so it was 503 when it went in. So it's lost 5 grams from smelting. You can see the dimples, so obviously this was face down in the mould, so that's where it bubbles and air tries to get out. That's why it's got the texture it has, and obviously that's a bit of a flatter back. We've got a bit of an indentation here with the mould, but as it stands, that's quite good. So I'll set the grinder up, set the camera up, and we'll grind this back a bit and try and give it a bit of a polish. Right, a few safety features, ear defenders, goggles, and a mask are essential, because obviously a lot of fine particles can come off this. I don't want to be breathing them. I'm going to get my angle grinder out, which has got an 80 grit. We'll take the edges off, try and smooth it off as best as possible. There's a few things that I like about it. I quite like this texture we have on the top, so I'll probably leave that, sand that down a bit, and then I'll flatten the back off and try and get a bit of a mirror finish. Obviously we've got an indentation here which we can't really get rid of because you'll be sanding down a hell of a lot of copper out. So we'll polish the back off, we'll smooth the edges off, trim the front up, and then we'll see what it's like after. Right, so after way too long going through all the different grits, I'd say I've only done this once before, and that was the other day. I'm trying to figure out when to put moisture on, when to not. Do I start from the beginning or the end or the middle, or trying to get all the scratches out. That is pretty good. You obviously got very fine scratches, and I need a lot more practice to try and figure that out. But if you've got any tips below of how to polish or which way to go about it, please let me know below. But now we're going to get that out. Stick it on the polisher. The polish, which is the blue one, which is for the soft metals, which is what it said in the instructions. So we'll get that on, see if we can get a nice shine on it. Okay, so that's our finished product. I'll give it a rub down. There we have it. Aha. Can't say that's not pretty, not too bad for a spark. So obviously you can see the GoPro in the reflection. But this is one, I'll get one that I made the other day, 2 seconds. So this is the very first piece that I practiced on, which I wanted to grind down more, but I didn't want to take away too much material. And obviously that already is 10 times better than it was before. But I've not sanded down any of the edges or the top, just took a light dusting across the top. I'll tell you what, I'll stick the other wheel on the polisher and I'll stick a fine grit on the top and just polish the top up, but I quite like the indentations. It's almost like tiger stripes across the front, and leave that on, and then we'll round the video up. Right, so we'll end the video. Obviously don't try this at home. I've done it so you don't have to, and all that sort of stuff. I really enjoy it, and it's something that I want to do a lot more often, and I've got quite a few different ideas and things I want to film in here. I've brought some epoxy resin, I'm going to have a play with that. I've got the furnace, we're going to start melting some of the different materials. But I just found it so cool, the fact that I pulled this cable, this twin and earth, this armoured or whatever out of people's houses, you know, meter tails, earth and all that sort of stuff, stripped it down with the machine, turned it into this, smelled it down, and now I forged it into this. To me, this process is so cool, and I've seen so many videos online about it. It just really, really interests me. And what my plan is, like I've said previous video, is I have got t-shirts and hoodies and all that sort of stuff, a merch line coming out. Some people are really interested, some people aren't. It's just taken a while, especially with everything going on at the moment. But what I'm going to do is, so the bar that I made today, which is this one here, with the mirror finish back, I'm going to give this away to you guys. This is 486 grams this is weighed out to in the end. So this will be worldwide. So anyone below, comment, and within a week and a half, I will do the giveaway. I'll pick someone from the YouTube comment section. Just comment saying, get amongst it, and I'll put it on the screen. I'll pick a winner throughout the end of the week, and I'll get this shipped out to you guys. But what I'm going to do on my other channel is the molds that my brother's made. I'm going to try and make myself a mold, cast it in sand, pour it to see how it finishes. But I'm going to make 10 of these. This is a kilo one, which is really cool. I made the other day, but it's quite heavy, especially for postage wise. So I think the 500 grams are the way forward. But let me know what you guys want. I'm going to make 10 of these. 10 of these, and I'm going to sell them as merch. But I will let you all know as and when. But if you are interested in one of these, message me on Instagram. Put my Instagram below. I just think they're a really cool thing, but I'm tempted to do a few different ideas, either keyring or make some placemats for your tea and coffee on your office desk, you know, and get a cool copper one done. I'll put my logo on it, or do something around that thing. But let me know below. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.